in complete darkness, your breathing shallow and rapid. Where am I? The air feels thick, damp, suffocating. You stretch your arms, only to be met by solid wood above you, below you, around you. Panic sets in, a raw and primal fear. Then you hear it. Rain. And then you feel it. The water seeps through, and suddenly, it's not just rain. It's rising. Faster than you can react. It climbs up your legs, soaking your clothes, and you realize you're trapped. You push with all your might, but the lid won't budge. Just when you think it's over, the world shifts. The coffin collapses and you fall, tumbling downwards into the unknown. For a brief second, you gasp, feeling relief. You're out of the coffin, but that relief is short-lived. You land hard on damp stone. For a moment, it feels like safety. The rain is gone, the water recedes, and you're no longer drowning. But then, as your eyes adjust, you realize you've fallen into a narrow tunnel, its walls pressing close around you. The space is suffocating, just like the coffin. The air smells of mildew and earth, and a faint green light flickers from far ahead, barely illuminating the cold, slimy walls. As you crawl through, every sound is amplified. The drip of water, but it's your own breathing that feels the loudest, echoing back at you as if the tunnel is alive, waiting to close in on you at any moment. You reach the end and pull yourself into a larger space, your muscles aching, and just for a second, you think it's over again. But the scene before you leaves you breathless. The chamber opens up into what you now recognize as a crypt. A graveyard looms overhead as you pull yourself out. "Oh my God," you mutter under your breath, the cold realization settling in. You weren't just trapped, you were dead. You step back, stumbling slightly. "I was dead." The words slip from your mouth, trembling. Your heart pounds in your chest. This wasn't an escape. This was a return from the dead. Just as the truth begins to settle, you hear it. Something, or someone, isn't alone with you in this place. You whirl around, eyes scanning the dimly lit chamber. Something moves in the shadows. No, it's more than just movement. It's a presence, cold and crawling closer. A figure emerges, tall, gangly, with eyes like hollow pits, gleaming in the dark. Its breath is a ragged hiss, and the air around you feels suddenly heavier. You freeze, unsure if it can see you. You stay silent, hardly daring to breathe, as its steps echo louder and louder, approaching, right to where you stand. Your heartbeat is all you hear as it stands inches from you. But it passes by, unaware of your presence. Relief washes over you, but not for long. Not when you know you have to move. You stumble out of the crypt, bursting into the open graveyard, gasping for air like you've just escaped drowning again. The cool night air bites at your skin, and for a moment, you think you've made it. But the sight of gravestones, their silhouettes casting long shadows under the pale moonlight, reminds you, this isn't over. You glance behind you, expecting to see the creature emerge from the crypt, but it's nowhere in sight. The silence is haunting. Where am I now? You whisper, desperate for answers. But then, just beyond the headstones, something else catches your eye. A gravestone, unlike the others, standing taller, older. Its surface glows faintly, beckoning you forward. It's not just a gravestone. It's a doorway. An ancient archway carved into the stone, pulsating with green light. You feel an inexplicable pull towards it. Your heart tells you to stop, but your feet won't listen. Step by step, you approach, feeling the pull of the portal until you're standing right before it. With a final breath, you step through. Darkness. Nothing but the feeling of weightlessness, like you're floating, lost in time and space. For a moment, you think you've escaped, but then you feel it. A warmth. Then a sharp smell. Smoke. Your eyes fly open, but your body doesn't respond. You try to scream, but no words escape. You're stuck in a nightmare, unable to wake. The smoke thickens, filling the room, and your body refuses to move. Panic sets in. This isn't a dream. This was real. This is how you died. The realization hits you like a punch to the gut. Your mind screams, willing your body to wake up. With every ounce of strength, you force yourself to move. And then, finally, your body jolts. You break free. You scramble towards the window, the smoke pouring in from under the door, suffocating you. Desperation drives you, and just as the fire closes in, you hit the cold ground outside, gasping for air. You made it. You're alive. You turn to look at the house. Smoke billows out from the window. Relief washes over you like a wave. You survived. This time, you beat it. But as the cold wind blows, something doesn't feel right. Your eyes flutter open, but you're not outside. You're lying in a hospital bed, staring up at a sterile ceiling, fluorescent lights flickering above. Your chest rises and falls steadily. Was it all a dream? Your mind spins, trying to piece it together. The fire, the portal, the crypt, the coffin. Your hand trembles as you bring it to your face, feeling your skin, making sure you're real. You take a deep breath, convincing yourself it's over. But then, it's there, standing at the foot of your bed, the figure from before. Its hollow eyes bore into yours, the room growing colder by the second. Your heart skips a beat. This can't be real. But it is. Your mind races, trying to make sense of it all. But before you can move, before you can scream, everything goes dark. You jolt awake, in a car. The truth hits you like a tidal wave. You must have hit your head hard. This is it. This is where it all started. Or maybe this is where it all ends.